Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're all doing very, very well. It's been going very average off camera, I would say. 3 wins, 3 losses. Not the toughest run of fixtures, I might add. Although we did play Tottenham away, obviously atop of the league. And the current reigning defending European champions, I might add. So there is that. And we also played United at home. So I guess 2 tough games that we could easily have lost that, considering Tottenham are a different Tottenham now than in, I guess, real life. And United, you could always have lost. We had a lot of injuries going into that game. So because of the injuries and the players we've had out early on, it's probably been about average, I would say, the start. It really depends what happens in the next few league matches, which will dictate really where we are. Whether we're going to be a side that's fighting relegation, getting into those lower parts of the European places, or maybe even like a late top 4 push and maybe an outside title challenge, but that's very unlikely, I think, now, based on the amount of defeats we've had just off the first few games. Right then, so first Champions League game in the club's history is going to be against FC Admira Wacker Modeling from Austria. They're the current reigning defending Austrian champions. That is going to be in today's episode. We're going to play the Champions League game. We're going to play Brighton away. Then we're going to play Chelsea in the Premier League as well. Miss out the Nottingham Forest game. One early thought for me, if it looks like the best case scenario for us is going to be like a European race, I might try and really focus on the cups because I'd really like us to win a trophy this year. And I'd love us to get to the knockout stage of the Champions League. So as long as we finish in the top 27, I think it is of that, we should be okay. So lots to play for. And you might see a lot less Premier League games until right at the end of the season. But I'll keep it updated, of course, as we go. And you'll still see Premier League matches throughout the episodes, but just that won't be our primary focus like it was last year, because we knew we were onto something, special in that first season, right? It really was something special. So I just want to give you a bit of notice on that. Yes, that'll be this episode. Next episode, I might try and get another Champions League game in, along with hopefully the next League Cup game. So it could be like Premier League, Champions League, and League Cup 4th round, or League Cup quarterfinal, something like that, going into later part of the season. Right, you are banging up today. So in our fixtures, we do get to play against Real Madrid and AC Milan right there at the end. So that's going to be really fun to watch. We'll definitely try and get one of those 2 in. Maybe both. We'll see how things are going, of course. I'm not going to go into too much detail about player performances in this episode because we only had 6 matches. It's been early. Aaron Oxby scored 8 and 6. That tells you everything you need to know. Benim scored 3, assisted 3. Kwame's done nothing in terms of goals and assists. That's a slight concern. He's been pretty poor. It's interesting to track the minutes played here, because as you can see, Dylan Wilson's actually played 125 minutes over 5 sub appearances, but you've got Zach Powell and Tom Stevenson Ford and Lee Burley have all played more minutes than that. So it's just something to keep track of as minutes played for the players, as well as raw starts, of course. Okay, let's get straight into it then. Let's get the Champions League. Your team is going to be pretty much the first team, except for the fact that Benim's going to miss the game, being a bit too tired to start the game, really. So we're going to start Tom Kinnan for his first start of the season, and he's going to play with Kwame in that 2 sort of number 10 positions behind the striker. Right. Also, John King really is going to be leaving us at the end of the season. He said that he does not want to sign a new contract. He wants to leave, and that is going to be the end of it. So John King's going to see his last season out with us, bless him. And thank goodness he got to stay for the Champions League. He will definitely play in the Champions League. Maybe come off the bench in this game, because if it wasn't for him, I don't think we would have survived in the Championship those early years. Like, he was a real hero for us early on. Didn't quite hit the heights that we'd like him to have done, but he was a genuine top, I would say, really effective player, if not like a really top level player for us, even as a Championship level player. Really effective, quality player, club legend. Him and Kyle Andrew, the first sort of like early part of the series that came through in the first, I don't know what years they came through really, but it was quite early on. Yeah, so within the first 3 to 4 years, they came through the academy. John King was the very first season, of course, and they were like the early team. I can see this becoming a bit like a cyclical kind of team, where we think about teams almost cycles. A bit like what how people sort of refer back to Alex Ferguson's teams at United, where they were almost in cycles, right? Where you had a team, then he'd bring through almost like a separate team that had some players crossing over to the generation and era before, but really it was a whole new group. It took a couple of years to get that through, but might be the same thing for us a little bit. Especially if we saw the save through to like 2050, of course, which is probably what it would take for us to win the Premier League. Okay, then, Champions League, here we go. It's going to be Burton Albion versus the Austrian team, FC Admira Wacker. What's interesting about them, I checked the league, by the way, is they had no top 3 finishes, like, from what I could see for ages. Then out of nowhere, last season they finished 3rd, or 2 seasons ago, And then last season, they won the league, so fair play to him. Assistant manager says, favourites for a reason. Here we go then, Champions League first game in the club's history. You can hear the Champions League music as it rolls out around. We're going to just assume it's going to be Burton Stadium, our new stadium, and it's not going to be where it actually has moved us to. Yeah, the music's ringing out. You can imagine the fans being there, the whole England DNA team, the English players, the English FA, they're very proud of their club team, effectively, doing so well. And in a good position. Got 70 million in the bank. The owners want to sell the club. I don't know why, but they do. Here we go. Soak in that moment of the players lining up. This whole England DNA Academy team earned their right to play in the Champions League. Brilliant stuff. First start of the Champions League. Helder plays it to the far side. Oxby gets fouled. It's a penalty. And Tom Kinnon's going to take it. Tom Kinnon's pretty good at penalties. At least I think he should be taking it if it keeps the same rate as the same list as last year, which it should be doing. So it should be Tom Kinnon. If he starts, he's on the pitch, he goes ahead of Oxby, because Oxby's missed quite a few in his time with this. It is Tom Kinnon. He shoots. He scores. That is 1-0 Burton Albion in the Champions League. Come on, boys. Throw in here. Helder's going to throw it into Torrance. Takes some touches. Troubles with it. Plays it into to Giannis, rather. Carl Andrew into Hudson. Back to Brennan Hughes. Back to Mitchell King. Bit of patient build-up play here. Brennan Hughes gets it to Kwame, who's in all sorts of space. Cross into the box. It's put in by Tom Kiernan. Is it? Oh, it's going to go to VAR. I don't know why. It looked completely fine to me. Oxby was close. Oh, it says Oxby. It said it's checking for Oxby. He was close to being offside. It's been awarded anyway. It's going to be 2. Let's watch this again. Lovely bit of retaining from the boys. It goes into the little half space. A little Kevin De Bruyne run there by Kwame. Whips it in. You see Oxby's very close. Actually, he's going to be probably just behind the line. The ball's close anyway. But Tom Kiernan scores, and that is 2-0. Okay, so Aaron Oxby has got a knock. So you know what that means. Welcome onto the field, our club legend, John King. And I think he's the club's all-time goal scorer, isn't he? Okay, Luke Norval plays it to Carl Andrew. Travels with it, and travels it some more. Keeps going, plays it in behind to Helder, into Tom Kiernan, into Giannis. Hudson, brilliant football. John King scores, but yeah, I think he's offside. It's going to stay 2-0, I would have thought. Okay, throwing it into their defensive line. They are going to play it long. Straight to our defence. Nice and easy for Torrance to bring it down. It's getting to the stage where we can actually start to make changes to keep fresh players in the next few matches. Kwame gets it. Oh, a bit like that. Goes through to John King. Goes through. He's onside this time and it's blocked. Okay, Tom Kinnon off. Dylan Wilson on. Tom Stevenson Ford's going to come on for Mitchell King. And we'll bring on Lockwood for Helder. And there you have it. Finishes 2-0 to Burton Albion. Our first ever Champions League game. Absolutely brilliant to see. What a performance from the boys. Very straightforward, wasn't it? Felt very straightforward for us. Very comprehensive. Probably the easiest fixture that we've got in the entire run, right? A home game against them. And I think maybe Porto away. You got maybe those 2 games there. We've got enough chances to get points, to get ourselves into the knockout stage. Probably not in the top 8, of course, but in those other areas that can get you through. But that's going to do that. Brilliant stuff. Okay. I will see you now in 4 days for the game against Brighton and see, by the end of this episode, whether we do think we're going to be in the top 4 or if we're going to be just outside. If we were to lose or lose and draw the next 2 league matches, we're going to probably be already quite far off top 4, so we'll see. And for those of you wondering what our chances are this season, I did have this moment saved in case I needed to come back to it. We are 4,000 to 1, apparently. So there you are, 4,000 to 1 to win the Champions League. Okay, we go then. Brighton away. Let's see how we get on. Benim comes back into the team. That's the only change from the last team. Assistant manager says pick up where he left off. Okay, Brighton with a throw. They throw it into their forward line. They're going to build an attack. No, they're going to whip it in. It's headed away. Getting a second chance. It's it. Shot from distance. It's the post. It's going to be cleared away. Brighton play. Shot from free kick. Every single highlight that's been in this game so far has been from Brighton. So, wow. So far, we can win the ball here. I don't think we are, though. I think they're absolutely battering us, to be honest. Oh, hang on. Brennan Hughes. Benim. Hudson, hang on a second. By the way, I did think about dropping Hudson. He was very ineffective for the first few matches of the season. And I thought about playing Tom Kinnon from the start or playing somebody else wing back and moving Brennan Hughes to the middle. He's playing better in this game. He's on a 7.0, but they're going to go through and get a shot. It's going to be a penalty, isn't it? I mean, it shouldn't be given. I'm hoping this is not given with VAR, but penalty decision is no penalty. Good. It wasn't one. Good. Our first highlight of the game, potentially. Brennan Hughes throws into Benim, gets it back. Plays it back to Hudson. Back to Brennan Hughes. Plays it to Benim, goes through, shoots. Oh, and he's clipped the post and it's gone wide. Free kick right before half time. Helder doesn't score ever from these. And he still doesn't, but the rebounds, nope, over. Okay, this will likely be the last highlight before half time. They play out from the back. They play it into the right hand side. They've got like they didn't have a 2 sort of V1 there, but now they go through, gets to the end of it, goes through. Oh, he should have scored. Stays 0-0. Yeah, gonna say do it for the fans. And we're also gonna bring on. I think I've been quite impressed with Powell here. Like he's starting to improve. He looks a bit more like Justin Parker-Trot. Anybody that's like quick and a winger type player that isn't that great is gonna be Justin Parker-Trot. It's just the way it's gonna be. Yeah, so he is gonna go into the team here. He's gonna go in where Brennan Hughes is, or make a straight swap there. I think Helder's better on the left because he's not quite express with his pace. He's got good vision though. Not good passing. We'll leave it like that. Go with that. Going to take off Helder and throw on Lee Burley, left wing back. And then we're going to take off, I think, who do we take off here? Maybe Benim, because he's still coming back from that knock. Let's take off Benim and let's throw on Tom Kidden as the left number 10 there. Aaron Oxley's playing terribly. Going to move Kwame from Kidden to the right. And then we throw on Dylan Wilson on the left. Got one more sub to make. I think that's going to be likely Stevenson Ford to come on for Kyle Andrews. Straight swap there, I think. Free kick towards the far post, headed away. They're going to potentially counter. Got 3 players. There's somebody stepping engaged this, lads. What are we doing here? They're going to get through. This guy's offside. They get the ball through, though. They're going to get a chance. One with the goalkeeper. I mean, it's been coming for ages, and it's 1-0 to Brighton. Get it highlight here. It's going to be a goal, isn't it? Stevenson forward the equaliser. Here we go. Oh, no. Lost it. They go in behind. It's going to be their highlight. It's going to be their highlight. They're going to go through. They go. Shoot keeper saves it. Goes for a corner. Okay, finishes 1-0 to Brighton. We'll say unlucky to the lads. Yeah, it's going to be definitely, I think, a Champions League and Cups kind of season for us. As long as we don't get too close to that relegation fight, that's going to be the most important thing. Okay, I'll see you then in a week's time for the game against Chelsea, and we'll review the league table after that game. But for now, that leaves us currently bang mid-table. And yeah, not quite sure what to make of it just yet. Another defeat here against Chelsea at home would maybe think that we're going to be in this sort of fight for this year, but let's hope not. Okay, got some bad news for you. We've got knocked out the League Cup, so not great. Gotta be honest. I'm just contemplating whether to do a sort of squad team talk now or wait another match. I think I'll wait another match because technically it was back-to-back wins there. In fact, it was 3 in a row. If you include, oh no, it wasn't because of that game there. So yeah, I'm gonna play out this match. If it's anything, if it's a loss, I'm definitely gonna do a squad team talk to try and get on a good run going into sort of that game there. Because yeah, we could go on a decent run potentially if we get onto a good bit of morale. So in terms of this game, I'm gonna play Powell. I'm gonna drop currently the central field player, which is Stephen Hudson, with his 9 starts, no goals, no assists, etc. We're going to move Brendan Hughes to the middle, and then Helder's going to come over to the right. Now, the reason I've put Powell on the left is he's got cuts inside from both wings, and I feel like that's going to be better for the left wing back than the right, because the right I actually do want to hold the width a bit better, so we're going to play Helder on the right hand side, see how that all goes in this game against Chelsea. I played the whole first team in the cup game, but I think going forward, if I want to be able to develop young players, I have to come up with a rotation policy. Am I not good enough to have like a first team and just play the B team every now and again? So I think we have to just sort of, you know, try and get 1 or 2 players rotated in every game or so to try and just keep players moving. Like Stephen Hudson's had a solid 9 starts. It hasn't quite clicked with him in there this year. So let's take him out. Let's put Brendan Hughes in the middle. Let's put someone else at wing back. Let's try that for a few games. You know, let's just try and keep it more fluid and moving with the players, play rotation, to try and get the minutes within the first team. I think that's the way for us to go. Last season, we got so close to doing something incredible, like winning the title or getting to the top 4, that I felt like that I couldn't just rotate for the sake of it, because I felt like it would have tanked us. But like, especially if we end up in that sort of Europa League, Conference League area, I think it's okay to start doing that more. It's probably better for us not to be in the top 4 going into next season, but we'll see anyway. Okay, give it to Chelsea first, except for that one change. Here we go. I've got to be honest with you, I'm really hoping for a centre-back in the next intake. I really want a top-level centre-back. I feel like that we've got 3, and like Stevenson Ford isn't really a good enough centre-back, I don't think, at times. He'd be a really good 5th-choice centre-back. So you've got your starting 3, you've got one more backup player, and then he's the number 5. If he's number 5, he's good. But I just think as the number 4, him being the best next to him isn't really good enough. But anyway, some manager says, nothing to lose. Okay, first highlight of the half. This is the very first thing that's happened. Chelsea get the ball. They give their attack down their left-hand side. They build it back across the centre. Now they nearly get tackled and lose the ball. Bening's been a little bit quiet the last few matches as well, which has been a little bit concerning. The last thing I want to be doing, though, is trying to mess around with the tactic, considering it's finally got us out the league below and kept us up in the league, doing so well last year, right? So it's unlikely I'd make any tactical changes for one, and maybe even won't even be tempted into tweaks too early on. We'll say scoreline doesn't reflect pattern of the game, but really we're sort of lying to the lads. Chelsea throw. They launch it high. They're going to get the ball. No, they're not. We're going to get it. Try and get yourself up, lads, so we can have good passing options to create a bit of depth going forwards. There we go. Can we make a run? No, okay, get on the ball then. Good combination play. Need runners off him now. There we go. Straight into here. Good football. Kwame. No, Oxby goes through. Oh, what a move that was. Stays 0-0. Helder's had a great game. He's on a 7.5 at right wing back, incidentally, which is good. It's good to see. If he can keep doing that, then we'll just leave him there. Then we can keep using Powell and using Burley as the two left wing backs. Powell's going to stay there for now. Unless they score, I'm going to keep him out there for the whole game. I want to see how he gets on over a full 90. He's only had one start so far. Torrent's on a 6.3 at left centre back, which isn't good. He wins the ball there though. Kwame into Benin. Into Giannis. Plays it to Kwame, who I think is just onside. Goes through and he scores. Come on! Oh, it's VAR. It's close. He is onside. Come on. 1-0. What a ball this is. It goes back to Giannis here, doesn't it? It goes play right back there. Kwame makes this lovely little run through, having Oxby dropping and dragging one of the centre-backs backwards and makes it a 1-0 to Burton. Okay, they've got a highlight. I'm going to take off Brendan Hughes and put on Tom Kiernan in the middle because I feel like he actually does do pretty well in that position. He has so much of a chance at it. Not this season anyway. Chelsea go wide. They cross it to the box. Hey, then it's just over the bar. Okay, Benin's picked up a knock, so he's going to have to come off. So it's going to be, I think, should we go Dylan Wilson here? We'll do that. Carl Andrews really struggling, so Stevenson forwards. And Steve Torrance is struggling, so go Lee Burley centre-back. I've actually done that a couple of times this season. I think he's better as a centre-back than Rainsford I've just accidentally put in. Hang on. No. I want Stevenson forward, not Rainsford. Yeah, I don't think Rainsford's very good. I think he's maxed out, like, as you can see there. I think he's going to be pretty much done on his current contract. He's just not good enough, I don't think, to play left centre-back for us. I'd rather play Burley there, who's only 5'3" or 5'5". But he rarely has to go up the headers, it feels like. So, I'll go with that anyway in this game. Goal kick for Chelsea goes up. We head it back into the middle. They're going to now rebuild and attack potentially now. They go left-hand side. Got two players looking threatening here. They trying to squeeze it through. Mitchell King gets to it, though. Helder, Keenan into Kwame. Tries to play an early ball into John King's. Never going to get there. Terrible, really. And it's going to give Chelsea the opportunity to build yet another attack against us here. Here they come. They play it in behind there. Do they? No, they don't. Now they try it. It's got to be one. Pavez asked. Oh, no. That was a little close. Another highlight. 7 minutes to go. Tom Keenan gets on it. Plays into Kwame. Has Mitchell King. Mitchell King's got Helder with him on this right-hand side if he wants to use him. Both wing backs have been on the whole game, incidentally, so they're both pretty tired. Wilson's got a little power if he wants to use him. He does use him now. Cuts inside, plays into Giannis. Giannis now plays I was about to say great, but I thought it was going in here, to be honest. Oh, here we go. There you go, through. Yeah, thank Christ for that. Another highlight. Burley goes to the left-hand side. Dribbles with it, plays it to Powell. Goes down past the player. It's going to be a corner. He's given a penalty. Okay, I'm not sure this is going to be given. But it goes to VAR in any case. It's taken some off the clock, which we're happy about. And it's not given. But it took about 30 seconds off the clock. That'll do. And it's a corner anyway. It's fine. Still got a chance in this. We don't score that many from corners. We scored the odd one. Wilson's going to take it after about an eternity to waste time. Good lad, Wilson. Love this. 2 minutes left. Last minute. Are we going to win it? Come on! Burton Albion get the big win against Chelsea. And crucially, managed to get the win without having to use a squad team took. Obviously, you don't want to be using too many per season. So I think the longer I can avoid using it, the more effective it's going to be for us when we do use it. So it's good that we're able to avoid it there. I won't use it even if we lose to Porto. If we were to lose to Brentford, I could maybe start considering it. But I also look at it like not what's just gone before, but what's your next game. Like if I was to use it after the Bayern game, going into the game against Liverpool, that would be, I think, quite a poor decision on my part. So we're not going to be doing that. So it's all fine. So that is your Premier League table to end today's episode. It leaves us in 8th position. Incidentally, last season, England had 10 teams in Europe this season. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams in the Champions League, 3 teams in the Europa League, 1 team in the Conference League. So half of the entire league are in Europe this year, which is incredible. And it gives us a lot of hope going into this season, of course. So there you are. It's quite an entertaining league, isn't it, from that perspective of, like, there aren't many teams in dead seasons. Either you've got teams chasing for the Champions League or a European place, or teams fighting relegation. There aren't many teams in that sort of dead zone where that season's over with, like, really 5 games to go mathematically, and really it was over by 8 games to go. There aren't many teams in that sort of bracket. So, yeah, interesting. Okay, that is going to conclude your episode. In terms of the next one, we're going to come back for, let's have a look at this. See, I feel like the Tottenham game is quite far away. I feel like it's a bit too far. But then if I was to do these, it would be a bit too close. I'll tell you what, let's do Tottenham, Real Madrid, and AC Milan in the next episode. So we'll miss out the FA Cup third rounds, and we'll do those three. We'll do a quick review of the player attributes as well on top of that, and we'll see what the situation is in the league, what the situation is in the Champions League, and go through all of that stuff. So that'll be your next episode. And then the one after that will be likely the one where we do the youth intake as well, and potentially a Champions League knockout match. Who knows? It all depends on a number of factors, of course. But that is going to do our episode. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the series, and I'll see you all, of course, next time.